Hey guys, this is Fuller. We're back for some new neutral minions. These could fit into Hearthstone or the mod or even both. I've been getting loads of ideas sent to me and I wanted to show you them, plus I came up with a few cool ones myself. A lot of these are a little bit radical and a little bit crazy, but I kept it just to the ones that are really unique and would be interesting to see in the game. Let's get into it. Firstly, this is my one. It is Spymaster. For 2 mana, he's 2/3 with your opponent's hero power cannot be used. Really annoying for your opponent, but not that hard to deal with. I could see him fitting into some rush decks, probably much better versus certain heroes than others. Warlock, for example, especially Handlock, would hate this guy. Hunter too, he'd be forced to remove him. In the mod, denying Lich too would hurt him. Visually in game, a lock would appear over the opponent's hero power, so it's very clear it can't be used. Could even have chains appear around it if we want something more elaborate. Balance wise, it could be made to just a battle cry, or he could be just a 2/2 if it turned out to be too strong. What do you think of this one, guys? Now this is my favourite one, it is Last Guardian. For 6 mana, he's just 3/3, but he has Mega Divine Shield. So that's 4 Divine Shields, meaning he can block damage 4 times. You can compare him to Argent Commander, Sunwalker. He's basically a Mega Silver Moon Guardian. The idea might be a bit too much for your average neutral minion. It might be a power better reserved for a legendary minion, but having more options for 6 drops is always cool. You can of course run 2 of these in a deck. He's obviously very vulnerable to silence and your standard removal like Hex, Assassinate, etc, and there's always spells and effects like Arcane Missiles, Goblin Blast Mage who do really well against this. In a straight up fight he's really hard to remove though. Remember I said crazy? Well, here's Secret Keeper. For 4 mana he's 4/3 with Battlecry, put a random secret into the battlefield for both players. So you get a random one, he gets a random one. Most likely you play this guy right at the end of your turn after you've done everything. Then your opponent has to play around potentially any secret in the game. Obviously quite similar to Blingatron. Again, this one could even be a legendary too. You can combo it with Kezan Mystic. If you're running that, then you always at least have a guaranteed secret to steal. Stat wise, he's fairly weak with just 3 health, pretty easy to kill. You need to have a real game plan to get any use out of him. This one's funny, it is Portal Maniac. For 3 mana it's 1/4 with, whenever this minion takes damage, add a random 1 mana cost minion to your hand. Obviously quite similar to Acolyte of Pain, but this one's pure aggro, especially good with buff minions who can give him better stats. More damage he takes, the more cards you get. You'd be drawing Mass Leper Gnomes, Footmen, Archers, Voidwalker, who knows. So randomness, but you can play them all straight away whatever you get. His cost stats could be retweaked, but you don't want him too strong. I think he's about right at 3. This one got sent in to me. It's a different take on spell damage. It is Necromage. For 3 mana she's 1/3 with, whenever a minion dies, gain spell damage +1. So quite like Flesh Eating Goal, but she starts with nothing. When any minion dies, it's an instant +1 spell damage. The idea is to play her at a convenient time when a lot of stuff's gonna die and get a massive spell damage increase. Even with just 3 or 4 minion deaths, little spells like Arcane Missiles, Frost Lances, etc, or even bigger ones like Fireball start to become seriously scary. Whether she'd be properly playable or not is up for debate. She could be a 1/4 for instance, but again, like Portal Maniac, you don't want her to be too strong. This one opens up a few options. It is Peace Devotee. For 2 mana it's 1/4 with, at the end of each player's turn that player draws a card. So you generously share an extra card draw with your opponent. Like a cross between Jeeves and Mana Tide Totem, if you rely a lot on card combos and combinations, or in general you can benefit more from card draw than your opponent, then it's really handy. It also can open up more mill deck possibilities, just up a bit. 4 health is just out of range of a lot of cheap removal, but most enemy minions could easily kill it. Here's the last one, another secret one, is Aquatic Ocean Tree. A twist on acidic swamp ooze. For 2 mana it's 3/2 with Battlecry enemy secrets can't activate this turn. A nice counter if the enemy is building up a stockpile of secrets, or you know he has a really harmful one like explosive trap or even freezing trap, something like that. You can surprise him with this and smash him down. There's already Kezan Mystic, this is a slightly cheaper option, and as a 3-2 it's at least playable even if your opponent has no secrets. It's an option for the mod, it could be added in. What do you think? Alright guys, so most of those ones you sent in, remember you can always email me and send in your card ideas. The next two I saw on halfcards.net, I thought they were really interested, so I'm going to post them here now. The first one, I modified the stats, it is Tenris Merkblood. For 6 mana he's 7-1 with Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all enemies and gain +1 health for each damage dealt. So a minor board clear and you suck the life in buffing yourself up. He has a strong 7 attack, so ideally you want at least 3, 4 or even more minions to get some decent health. Remember, it all hits the enemy hero as well. You can compare him to other legendaries like Sylvanas and Khan. He's much more anti-aggro. Like a Vol'jin of sorts, you probably need to soften minions up a bit before playing this guy. He could be a 7-2, 6-2, but I wanted him to be a bit risky, a bit niche, not just an auto-include in every deck. This next one I didn't modify, he's probably overpowered though. It is Mr. Smite. For 6 mana he's 5-7 with, whenever this minion takes damage, equip a random weapon of equal cost to the damage taken. And he's a pirate, so if you take 5 damage it's an Assassin's Blade or Arcanite Reaper, 4 damage, True Silver Champion, Deathbite, etc, etc. Your opponent can play around it a little. Firstly do a large amount of damage, then finish him off with a lower amount of damage, giving you the weakest weapon possible. At 5-7 stats, as I said, he's already pretty solid. I'd say he needs to be weaker. One cool thing is you can combo him with damage spells. Whirlwind would be a weak example, but say Hellfire or Warlock swinging a huge weapon. Giving him Taunt as well would be really annoying for your opponent. On to lastly a real crazy idea I had for a legendary. It might have to be a class card, but here it is anyways as a legendary neutral. This guy has been suggested so many times, it is Sargeras. For 9 mana he's 5-10 with Battlecry, replace your deck with 8 random Legion cards. So a sort of cross between Ysera and Jaraxxus. He could be another character though, like an old god or a dragon with this ability, or any class legendary. You could probably somehow squeeze the theme in. As for the Legion cards, they'd be really strong, so like dream cards. I haven't fully figured it out yet. You then slowly each turn draw one and use these stronger cards to overpower your opponent. So stats for Sargeras are up in the air, it's more how strong the Legion cards would be. Mostly there'd be damage spells and very strong minions with charge and other abilities. It's slightly risky to play him as you might deck out sooner if you play him too quickly in the game. On the other hand, if you're getting close to fatigue, you can play this guy and suddenly you're back up at 8 cards and your opponent's about to deck out. One more thing is if you still keep your hand. So if you play him, then play say a draw spell like Arcane Intellect, things could get really interesting. Anyways, what do you think of this idea? Any hero you think who really fits the theme best? Alright, that's it for today guys. Should have another mod update really soon, hopefully tomorrow. I've been getting so much stuff sent over in emails. Also, if you have any emote ideas for the current 9 classes for the mod, so I mean greetings, well played, sorry, whoops, etc. for Death Knight, Monk, Pirate, Witch Doctor, etc. Email me them. I don't mean the actual sounds, just the text of what you imagine the characters would say. We can build up a script together slowly and then maybe a voice actor will give them a try. So thanks for sending in those minions, even the crazy ones. If you send in more and they're cool and unique, I'll show them another time. Back to the mod now, got a lot to show you. Please leave a like and subscribe, we're getting closer and closer to a beta now. Thanks guys and see you all next time.